Thank you, Prime Minister Raffarin. Thank you, Professor Bergloff. I must say, though, at the very beginning, I found some emotional solace in what you started with. When I grew up as a child in China, I was also told my English was terrible, and my grammar was even worse. And so I'll try to match up to your style today, however. Prime Minister, I'd like to start with a very personal question. You were granted with China's Friendship Medal, the highest honor that's presented to foreign dignitaries. You met President Xi Jinping perhaps a number of times. Being close up to him, what kind of person is he? How would you define his character? What do you think keeps him awake at night? And where do you think he's taking China?
That's an easy question. Thank you so much, Shirley.
It's a warm-up question.
Firstly, he is a very professional man, a politician. He knows the contact, he knows the people, he knows the powerful people, he knows the poor people, he knows the people. So he is a professional of politics. He is not very far from the people. He knows the contact, and he is a professional of politics, firstly. Secondly, he knows all the steps of the Chinese organization. He has made all the steps from the bottom to the top, and he has known very beautiful period, very close to the power with her father. And after that, he had a lot of difficulties to be students and to be in farm and to make the works of the farm. So, during the Cultural Revolution. So, he's a man of experience. I think, he's not making the China of today. I have read a lot of things he's making. The capacity of Xi Jinping is making a new strategy for China. My vision is China makes Xi Jinping, and not Xi Jinping makes China. Xi Jinping is a leader, and China has decided around the year 2008 for the Olympic Games. They decided to go out the discretion strategy, the Pacific emergence. They want to have the room at the table of the nations. Before, Xi Jinping, Hu Jintao, Yang Zemin can go in the street in San Francisco or in London. Nobody knows them. Nobody knows the leader of China. China was very discreet. And with Xi Jinping, China decided to make a face in his power. And it's a strategy. They were very discreet, very silencious to develop their interest and to always to be for the stability in Africa, in every year. When we have war, they don't want to see both parts. They keep away of the war. They want to go ahead slowly, discreetly, but always ahead. With Xi Jinping, for example, when he make an official visit 2 years ago in Iran, he goes to Saudi Arabia and Iran are a war, but he visited both. It was the first time that there is a war and to see China in each country. You know, it's a leadership strategy. I think that we can discuss Xi Jinping, but Xi Jinping is the face of a new strategy. And the strategy is to have a leader and to talk with the other leader of the world. So we have to understand that he has developed his own promotion, but he has a lot of projects for the world. And it's a leader who is the face of Belt and Road, the face of Import Shanghai Expo. And it's a big project which is supported by a man who is a leader. I think that's so. As every Chinese people is with yin and with yang, is very professional, very sympathetic when you want to be sympathetic. So he has a lot of ability of a politician, and also he is a leader. You have seen, for example, during the earthquake in Sichuan, the former president, Hu Jintao, don't go to Chengdu to see the problem of the earthquake. But now, Mr. Xi Jinping is going to the restaurant with the TV, and everybody knows that he's going to a restaurant. So he's just like a West leader. He wants to be a face of leadership. So he is very close to the people because he is a professional, but he is also distant because he has a leadership to promote. So it's a complicated people. But when we know him, the contact is very easy. I don't say?
So absolutely. Heroes are the product of our times, I suppose.
Yes,
That's an old adage. But I should also mention, in parallel, there is another heroic, like a statesman on global stage recently, French President Emmanuel Macron. During the Munich Security Conference, President Macron talked about this whole conference was themed essentially on the premise of Westlessness. And so if you were to ask me or anybody today, what are the fundamental characteristics that define the West? And I could definitively say democracy, liberal market, and civil liberty. So there are distinctive characteristics that define the West, and perhaps all of the three tenets, I would say, are being hollowed out. But leadership, in a way, is not just about mercantilism, it's not just about pragmatism, and in a way, it's not even just about economic primacy and economic leadership. So what is the characterization of China's era of global leadership? How would you use simple words to define what China's leadership is?
Simple words. I have understood that. I think it's a difficult question. I think that it's leadership for a new multilateralism, a new managing of the world. I think now our world is not well managed, and there is some proposition. One is Trump proposition, unilateralism, and the other one is new multilateralism. And this new multilateralism is a project which is a European project, is a Chinese project, and so China, with Belt and Road, for example, can promote the research for a new multilateralism. When do you see that USA refused to appoint new experts in WTO for the conflicts, to solve conflicts? So we can think that Trump and USA don't want to improve our multilateralism. And when you say the Asia Bank for Infrastructure and Investment, RIBB, the Bank of Asia for Infrastructure Investment. 75 countries are members of this bank. So it's a multilateral organization. So with this example, we can discuss on what is a new multilateral. So I think that the leadership of China right now is not to be only one of the most important countries in the world. So I think that the leadership is to promote a new world organization, is to promote a new leadership. And if we share this vision, we have to discuss with them. We can't keep them alone to invent alone a new multilateralism. So if you don't participate to Belt and Road, you keep them alone. We need to have contribution, cooperation to develop that. And I think that there is a punchline from Xi Jinping which explains his leadership is cooperation is better than tensions. So this leadership is a leadership for a new multilateralism. Simple words?
Multilateralism. Yes, that's the word that we all should take away. So